Hello everybody, it's me, the Cool Boys Comics, and welcome back to another RotMG video. Today we're doing the RotMG Snake Pit Guide. You know that old school snake pit, like the new one? And I rather the old school one. The new one's actually a lot easier and a lot more beginner friendly. The old one, it was just like, it was pretty hard. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the new snake pit, like the exalted one. So yeah, thanks Deca for like giving beginners more of a chance. Well, let's talk about it. So when you come across, well, you'll probably one day come across this weird portal with eyes coming out of it, or someone will call out snake pit in the chat. Well, don't pass it. It's where you're gonna get it. You're gonna see a lot in the Goldlands, and you're gonna see a lot in chat. So here's the map, and here's a tip. The RotMG boss room or the snake pit I meant, will always be 6 rooms away. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you've been in 6 rooms, then I recommend just turning back. And also follow the path that goes closest to Seno, which we'll get into soon. Well yeah, that's basically the map. Now let's talk about the enemies. We got the pit snakes and vipers, but they're not the biggest threat you'll really run into. They give 5 XP and they have 5 HP. They do every few seconds shoot out 10 damage star. In groups they can be kind of scary to a level 1 wizard. Yeah, like then they're a big threat. They only have 5 health. Even with like the worst staff in the game, it can easily kill them. And there's also pit vipers, which are purple. Now the fire python, the brown python, and the yellow python. Let's talk about the red python, or the fire. What it basically does is chases the nearest player to it, firing a shotgun of 4 bullets, which do 35 or 45 damage. No, 35. And also has about 200 health. Yeah, it's easy then. The thing that's recommended doing is just like, right when it shoots, duck out of the way. And they only have 200 HP. It'll only take a few shots to kill them. So yeah. Now let's talk about yellow pythons. They're pretty similar to the fire pythons, but instead they're like the fire pythons. They have 35 damage, but instead they just like swipe to the side with a shotgun of 3, swiping at the closest player. So yeah, they're not the biggest threat as well. Now let's talk about the more aggressive one, the brown pythons. So the brown python, so it's also kind of similar to the yellow and fire python, but just like both of them, the behavior is different. So what it does is it is pretty aggressive and goes close to you. But here's the thing. It circles you if you stay still. But if you circle it, then it'll stay still. So it's either circle or be circled. Kind of like Medusa. Like, she'll probably circle you if you're close. Like if you're still, and you'll circle her if she's still. So yeah, just keep on circling around it, dodge the bullets, and you'll be safe. Now let's talk about like the big snakes, like the big boys. These and the greater pit snakes and vipers, they're actually nothing you need to worry about. They used to be really hard. They used to be aggressive and like being big numbers and stuff. But now there's just basically 1 per room, and they just basically just stay in the center and shoot at you. So you just run past it, or just kill in 2 seconds. It has 500 HP. It also has good XP, so if you're farming XP, well, this is good for you. Okay, now let's actually talk about the treasure room. Now, the snake pit guard. The snake pit guard, it has basically two phases. The first, so when you enter the treasure room, which is a small room, then a long room, and then a smaller room with a switch in it. If you stand on the switch, you're gonna release the snake pit guard. So yeah, here's what you want to do. So it will probably go like back and forth with a bunch of arrows shooting from the walls, and it's shooting a bunch of dazing shots. The best thing to do is just stay in the room. Do shoot when it comes, shoot at it, hide behind the wall, then shoot, then duck. But then when you get to a certain health, which is about like around half, its behavior will change and it will go charging at you with way more deadly attacks. So here's what you want to do. Run across the room to the other side, like the entry room, and just shoot at him, duck, shoot at him. You can also hang out in a corner to stay safe. Okay, that's basically the treasure room. He can drop the same stuff as Steno, but we'll get into that later. Okay, let's talk about Steno herself. Steno the Snake Wing, the queen. She looked a lot different. But I'm happy that instead of just being a different shade of Medusa, now they actually changed her a bit. So yeah, this is Steno with her amazing daggers. Here's what it is. She's a weird boss with 9,000 HP, and let me talk about this, the game and how you can defeat her. Her first phase is probably actually the most dangerous. She shoots out an X, type of X, with a bunch of daggers shooting out. But fortunately, she doesn't aim the daggers at you. The daggers go to the side, which prevents you from dodging. And she basically shoots out a bunch of daggers, 8 daggers, in a line of X. So two per line. But also she also throws out a red grenade every few seconds, which does about 100 damage. Now yeah, that is a pretty dangerous phase. It can get you to red, but just what I recommend, just hit, run back, and hit. Also there's a Steno pets, but just ignore them. They'll sometimes mock charge you, but they're not gonna do any harm really. But just try not to run into their path. It can do a bit of damage. So yeah, that's basically her first phase. And then when she gets hit, she goes into what I like to call the easy phase. She shoots out a bunch of red grenades around her, but the only thing is the best thing to do, sit on her, because she won't throw the grenades at herself. But the other 2 phases, don't sit on her. You'll basically be taking all the damage. But during the grenade throwing phase, sit on her, and you can do a bunch of good spell bonds and stuns and stuff. And you're pretty much finished. But if you didn't do enough damage, she'll go into phase 3, the final the phase. She'll shoot out a bunch of a bunch of blinding bullets in a how should I put this? In a star shape, kind of. So what you want, and every spear, circle thing, does 60 damage, and they blind you for a few seconds. How will I avoid it, you may ask? Just keep on booking to the left, I think, or the right, whatever way she's shooting. Just follow in the gaps, and she's dead. Let's talk about the drops of interest. She drops the Mark of Steno, which you can trade in for speed. She drops arguably good mid-tier and mid-high tier weapons, and also decent UT items and wine cellar ink, which you can sell for a life. She also drops the speed, which is pretty good. This is your most efficient form of speed. And also the snake pit guard, he drops to just about everything the same, except the orange bag, which I'll get into soon. So, the Snake Pit Guard and Steno dropped the Wand of Bullrock and the Snake Charming Punky. I find both. The Wand of Bullrock, it is pretty OG, and it's pretty fun. The Snake Charming Punky, well, it just kind of sucks, okay? They also Steno drops the Acidic Armor, which gets from the special assassin set. I think it's called the Acidic Assassin set. And the Snake Pit Guard drops the ring. And that's basically it. Let's do the end card. Thank you all so much for watching. This guide was pretty fun to make, I have to admit. The thumbnail was kind of hard to make. So yeah, thanks all for your support who watched till the end. And yeah, hopefully if any of you beginners out there find it useful, also be sure to watch my beginner's guide and subscribe. Don't leave a like, I don't really care. Actually, don't leave a like, it'll just be nice. But especially subscribe. My goal is 38 subscribers. No, yeah, I've got 30 right now. I just need another 8 of you to subscribe. That's it. So yeah, it was pretty fun to make. And also, and if this video gets about 5 likes, we're doing down the leg guide. We are. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!